Look, listen, it's Priest the Animal, Mr. Mechanical. The word of life is what I'm handing you, straight from Jehovah's mandible, until it's branding you from all the things that damage you, and you go from a vandal who turned into Moses tangible. I'm like a freight train, spiritual full weight gain, a byproduct of the scriptures I take and I make plain, and call it faith gain. Add to it hope to maintain the discipline it takes to finish the race and to stay trained. I'm with the family, right where I plan to be. Anything less is just insanity, like an illicit fantasy. So can it be that we here to destroy the vanity, and we ain't done our job if the heathen ain't running frantically? So when I've been open, you've been hoping that I would stop like I've been smoking. An implosion that's taking place from the mega churches to storefronts, and you can find priests in the forefront like the Lord wants.
A husband, father, son, reformed, charismatic, saint, sinner, all at the same time. He's all of those rolling in one. Man, just really a product of God's grace. I think would probably be the best thing that I could say. I've been rhyming, honestly, I want to say for like seriously since about the year 2000. And that's when I kind of, really saw that I could do it and put an independent, project together and different things like that. But people really validating, saying, hey, I think you got a gift, bro. You need to do this. You need to look, be serious about this. So I've been doing it since around that time. First project, like I was saying, maybe about 15 years ago. That's crazy to say that when I really first started taking it serious, but it was titled The Indwelling. And what I was trying to present with that album, man, I was just, like I said, just lion-hearted, young teenage dude, just wanted to present a powerful person and just anti-system, you know what I mean? Just in your face, here's my worldview, and this is what it's all about, and I'm coming to take over the world type of deal. So that was basically embodied that project, The Indwelling, but I got a lot of great feedback off of that. And I got to see what it was like to work in the studio. So I really kind of cut my teeth on that, so to speak. Next project was called The Outpouring. And that's where I had felt like, okay, this is what I want to do. I had started taking rap a little more serious, like so heavy emphasis on the lyrics. That was my little rapper phase where I wanted to be the greatest of all. You know what I mean? I want to be better than everybody. So that was kind of like the flex. Then I did a solo project with my homie, Rick, and it was called the Brace Yourself Tour. And we were really making some moves locally. That's when our name had started to grow and started to kind of expand outside of our city into kind of like different regions, or just more of the region that we were in. So we started filming it. We were doing shows for the first time in different places, getting calls, and then like I had my little brother was just now starting to produce, my little sister. They were kind of finding their musical balance and kind of venturing into it. And so they were able to do production on that. That was a really fun project. Then I did a solo. I did a joint deal with Slingshot. So shout out to Yavis, that was my homie. But we did a joint called Revealed, and that was real fun. Just me being able to not really worry about much, just kind of kick back and be a part of a team that operated totally different. And that was my first project where I got to work with some of the people I really respected that I had never gotten to, where people had heard about you and they're willing to work with you now because your name's growing a little bit. So K-Drama, people like that, Apple Jacks. This new project, Apologetic, I think this is where it all comes together, and it sounds the best too. I'm a little biased though. New project is titled Apologetic, and I'm super excited about it because I feel like it's my most honest project. Like, I've been rhyming for a while, but I feel like I finally found my voice. And so what I mean by that is I'm able to capture life experiences in the music this go round. Whereas before there was like, maybe an image, a little bit of an image presented where it wasn't forced, but I definitely knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to project. This time there was no pretense or anything like that. I just wanted to be as honest and raw in the music. So the majority of the time when I was writing, it just came from like raw emotions of where I was at the moment or what I was thinking about or some life event that happened, and I caught inspiration from it. Actually, the first single is called No Place I'd Rather Be, and I know there's a song called "No Place I'd Rather Be" that everybody loves, but no, this was a totally. It was actually, there was a sample in it, and it really spoke to me. And I actually talked about me being a mixture or a composite of all these different things. Like, I often say to my friends, like people who know me, they've heard me say it before. On any given day, I'm the greatest saint or I'm the worst sinner. You know what I mean? It just depends on. I'm capable of anything at any time. I'm trying to be the best version of me that I can possibly be true to my family, friends, loved ones, and just make the world a better place in general. But you know, I'm not immune to the trials that everyone else has to endure, and I have to navigate life like everybody else. So that song kind of captures all of that in one, where I talk about being what normally is considered the antithesis of each other, but I'm that. You know, I'm both of those at any given time. So I got songs like that. I have a song called "What Comes With It" or "Comes With It," and that's talking about kind of like the dark side to popularity and fame. Like as you're growing, I've had the experience of, you know, kind of seeing the world, doing cool stuff like flying private, you know what I mean, and just a lot of other stuff that people don't get to do, starting my own record label and things like that. But where to the naked eye, it would look like this is all glamorous and stuff like that, I found that there's a whole nother side to that. I think Biggie would say it like this: more money, more problems. You know what I mean? So I have a song, and it's kind of my take on that, called "What Comes With It." Like, you see this, but you have no idea what comes with it. I have a song called "Better Off." That's just really a cool one. Just the anthem. I had a song called "Work," just talking about my commitment to grinding, you know, hustling. And I think everybody can relate to that, because everybody's trying to get it on some level, right? Like, you know, we're not just existing, we're trying to live. So there's a whole bunch more that I can name, but I'll stop there. Those are some of the notable ones that stick out to me. The way we practice, like I keep sharp by hearing like songs, like I said, I really loved and grew up on 90s hip hop music. So I practice like that. I'll go back and take songs and think about, like, what would it be, just kind of reimagine them. What would this song have sounded like if the artist that made it had my worldview? And then I'll write to it and just kind of fit it within the framework of what they did originally with the song, but maybe see if I could change the meaning altogether and still keep their original chorus or something like that. And we just decided to, like, start putting those out, because people had started hearing a few things and they're like, man, you should really, we'd like to hear that. Like, so next project is called "I Love the 90s Too." It's the second part of the first 90s mixtape that I did really well. People loved it. And it's a reimagining, like I said, of what some of those 90s hip hop songs would have sounded like had the artist had my worldview. I would say soul food. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, when you go to a good restaurant, you can have everything, the presentation just be awesome. And they take the black napkin and put it over you, and then everything is just super eloquent and beautiful, and it tastes great, and it's like, all right, you have eaten well. But then every now and again, you just have to have soul food, where it's refreshing to you because it just does something to you on the inside. It's like, even seeing the food, it's like, oh man, I can't wait to have that. And then eating the soul food, it puts you in a feeling where it's a safe place. I think that's what my music is. I feel like it's a safe place where sometimes I'm going to say things that I feel like it's real honest. I feel like there's people that make music and they say, well, you know what, I'm just being real, I'm keeping it 100. But I feel like it's fake 100 sometimes. I feel like really keeping it real and really being authentic is almost to risk your reputation, so to speak, because you're being authentic about your private thoughts and about things that maybe other people don't know about you. And I think my music is soulful because I give that. I'm not afraid to go there. I'm not afraid to delve into the inner sanctum of emotions and experience. I'm not afraid to talk about experiences that people would normally want to keep to themselves for fear of what others may think of them if they knew that they had had this experience.
Feel it now, feel it.
it's wild. I just got a text message today from an artist that I respect, and they told me, in essence, I won't, put them out there because we don't know what's going to happen with that, but they just told me, man, if you ever expand your rosters on Four Corners Music, man, I'd like to be a part of that. Because you guys, man, I really like what you're doing. I really like what you stand for. But Four Corners, man, we want to be, everybody says they want to be real. We want to be the voice of the voiceless. We want to be the people, we're the people's champ. And what I mean by that is we want to be able to take the concerns of the people and put lyrics to that, put passion with it and put it out in the atmosphere. Let that be a topic of discussion. Do it excellently. Make theme music for people who believe like me. Make songs that they could be proud of. Make stuff that they can listen to and not have to turn down around their little cousin or their little brother or their children. And so Four Corners is just that. It's about reaching the world, the four corners of the earth, north, south, east, west, with this uplifting music. You know what I mean? You got some great people on there, and just dual threats. Hot Rod the King, who's actually stepped into his artistry. He was always kind of behind the scenes as a producer, but he's actually stepping in front of the mic now, which is cool. Bink, who's one of my favorite artists. She's a female, so she really has a unique voice and a unique perspective that I think is kind of missing from hip hop. I think she's needed right now. So right now that's it. But we really just want to be that label that people says, now that I can relate to them. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I want from my music. We want to be that. Hip hop is, if I could use one word to describe the state of hip hop as I see it, it would be hijacked. And the reason I say that is because I came up in an era where I caught the tail end of it, but I was able to see, I was blessed to kind of be around and hear albums like All Eyes on Me, by Tupac, and The Chronic. Actually, that's what I listened to, was classic, what's considered classic albums. So Nas albums, Jay-Z albums, Reasonable, things like that. I feel like back in the day, hip-hop was, it was kind of like the voice of the people. It was anti-establishment. It was it was taking the best of a bad situation, you know what I mean? And just kind of using it for our voice. Nowadays, I don't hear that. I don't hear that same rebellion, but good rebellion, if I could say that. I don't hear that. I don't hear that same hunger in the majority of artists when I listen to hip hop today. It's still there. You got people like Kendrick, Cole, Lecrae, Bizzle, you know what I mean? Guys like that. I hear it. And, and people still have the soul too, like Christian Grey, Bink, Hot Rod, people like that. But I don't hear the passion. And so I feel like it's been hijacked, and now everything is how much money I can make, or how many girls I can get. I feel like they're pushing an agenda now. So I feel like it's been hijacked by people who really weren't supposed to represent hip hop, but they somehow got in positions of power within hip hop, and they're now dictating what the message of hip hop should be. So that's why I feel like it's been hijacked. I feel like there's two types of, I feel like there's different types of artists. I feel like you have hustlers and you have authentic artists. When you're an authentic artist, you live it and you breathe it. It's a part of your everyday life. You couldn't get away from music if you tried, or you couldn't get away from the passion for it if you tried, because it's not something you necessarily gave yourself. It's a gift, you know what I mean? So to me, I view life through music. You know what I mean? When I think I can't help but have a passion for it, because it's a part of me now. I feel like there's a movie, The Matrix. You remember, I don't know, you remember that movie, The Matrix, where Neo, he was kind of like the one. And I'm not saying I'm the one or anything like that. I'm not trying to do that. But what I'm saying, the point I'm making is, he used to see in code. I feel like that at times. There's some times where I'm just so passionate about music, or there's a message I want to convey, and I can't speak. I can't hold a conversation about that. Music is the only way that I can get that out. And so it's just, it's kind of like a fire. It's like an eternal flame, but it's on the inside of me and I can't put it out.
Yo, I told the enemy, look, I'm taking my life back. Give me my restitution, or my next solution's your execution. I'm blessed and I'm moving with less confusion. The biblical text is soothing. I'm never vexed, but my adversary, he's stressed and losing. I stay abreast, cruising on par. We are the movement. The windows of heaven are open. Non-smoking, we're shoe-ins. We gotta reel the youth in. That's why we pulling the troops in. To see them miss heaven is painful, like growing a tooth in. A true friend, get it popping with this word of life. We giving birth to vision, but we murdering mics. No Conrad Murray, scurry from strife. Temptation is waiting, and the Lord would prefer that we fight the battle of faith till we lay hold on eternity's life. The bride and the body reign with Jesus eternally, wife. Not having a spot or blemish image concerning me, price paid when he said, here, take my yoke and come learn of me. Nice, right?
Thank you.